All right, so Stoicism. Everybody's heard of it, right?
Right.
But how many people can actually explain how it all works, how the different parts fit together to, actually make your life better?
Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today. We're going deep on this one. And get this, we've got a framework for you. The 4 A's of Stoicism.
Oh, I like it. The 4 A's.
This is going to make it all click.
Yeah.
So the first A, most people have at least heard this one: acceptance. Accepting what you can't control.
Right.
But it's more than just like a vague idea, right?
Right.
Seneca, who was one of the OG Stoics, he said that true happiness, like really being content, comes from being present, being in the moment, not caught up in what ifs or, rehashing the past.
That's so true.
So instead of using all your energy fighting against the things you can't change,
Right.
what if you could harness that energy
Exactly.
and actually direct it towards something you can control?
And that's the key, right? Because by accepting what we can't control, we free up so much mental space to then focus on what we can. It's like decluttering your mind.
Oh, I like that. Clearing out the mental clutter.
Yeah. To make room for what matters. Our own choices, our own actions, that's what we can control.
Yes. And speaking of things we can't control, this is where Marcus Aurelius, he's another big name in Stoicism.
Big time.
He drops some serious wisdom. He says, well, yes, is a world without shamelessness possible? And I know it might sound a little weird.
It does, out of context, definitely.
Right. Are we saying it's okay to be shameless? No, not at all. But his point is that certain parts of human nature, just are. And fighting against that, well, that's just a waste of energy.
Yeah, it's about recognizing what's outside of our control. And the amazing thing is, once you do that, you can stop fighting and focus on what you can influence.
Total perspective shift, right?
Totally.
It's not about pretending you don't have emotions. It's about getting smart about where you focus your attention.
100%.
Okay, but here's the thing. Once you let go of trying to control those external things, it lets you be real with yourself.
Yeah.
Brutally honest,
Totally.
And that brings us to our second A, awareness.
Okay, I like it. So we've moved from acceptance to awareness.
Right, and awareness, this is where we get real with ourselves. Because the thing is, a lot of our suffering, it's not actually caused by what's happening to us, but by how we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's our own judgments.
Exactly. Think about a time you were worried about what someone else thought about you. Was it their actual opinion that caused you pain? Or was it your judgment, your reaction to it? See, there's a difference.
It's okay, I get it. I can't control everything out there, but now what? And awareness is like flipping on the lights in a room you thought you knew.
And suddenly you start to see things more clearly. You see those judgments. Epictetus, another Stoic all-star, he had this fantastic quote. He said, "Practice saying to every harsh appearance, you are an appearance and in no manner what you appear to be."
Whoa. Okay, break that down for me.
So basically, he's saying that our thoughts, our perceptions, they're not always accurate reflections of reality. We can get caught up in how things seem without really questioning if it's true. And here's the thing, we don't just do this with the bad stuff.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just negative judgments.
No, we do it with the good stuff too. Maybe you get a compliment and it feels good, right?
Right.
But then we cling to it. We let it inflate our ego. We start to identify with that praise.
Oh, I see.
It's about seeing things for what they are without letting those judgments, positive or negative, control us.
So we're not just passively watching our thoughts go by. We're actively questioning them.
Yeah.
Challenging them even.
Exactly. And that's how you start to create some space between your thoughts and reality. You start to realize you have way more power than you thought over how you respond to the world.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects. So we've got acceptance, we've got awareness.
Yeah.
But what good is all this introspection if we don't actually do anything with it?
Right. Can't just be theoretical.
Exactly. We need to take action. Which brings us to, you guessed it, our third A, action.
Love it.
And one of my favorite quotes about this comes from Marcus Aurelius. He said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one."
Yes. Such a powerful call to action. Is about embodying the principles, walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Right. Stoicism, it's not passive.
Yeah.
It's about living it. And the best part is, it doesn't have to be these huge, dramatic gestures.
Right. Nobody's expecting you to climb a mountain or anything.
Exactly. It's the small, everyday choices.
Yes. The little things done consistently that build character.
Okay, so we've got acceptance, awareness, action. And now for the A that really blew my mind while we were prepping for this deep dive. Anti-fragility.
Okay, yeah, this one's really interesting because it's not just about surviving challenges, it's about thriving because of them.
I know, right? It's wild.
The Stoics, they challenge us to ask not how can I avoid this or even just how can I endure this, but how can I use this to grow, to become stronger, wiser, more capable.
It's like instead of looking at an obstacle like, ugh, I got to get through this. It's like, ooh, what can I learn from this?
Exactly.
Turning obstacles into opportunities.
Exactly, because challenges, discomfort, they're unavoidable. Life will throw you a curveball when you least expect it. But with anti-fragility, you don't just weather the storm, you use that energy to grow stronger, more resilient.
So it's not just about accepting what you can't control, it's about actively seeking out ways to grow from those experiences, even the tough ones, even the ones you wouldn't have chosen for yourself.
You got it. And this, it circles right back to Stoic awareness. Remember how we were saying that our thoughts, they aren't always reality?
Oh, right.
Anti-fragility, it takes that idea a step further and says, what if we could use action to actually reshape those thoughts, those limitations we put on ourselves?
So it's not just about accepting our limits, it's about pushing past them. We have the power to change how we respond, how we think.
It's about realizing our potential for growth is often way bigger than we think it is. And by leaning into those challenging experiences, by actually seeking discomfort, that's how we unlock that potential and become even stronger.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah.
I really love this because it's like Stoicism, it's not about just getting by in life or putting up with things. It's about using every single experience, even the hard ones, to become the best and strongest version of yourself.
Exactly. And I love this analogy. Someone once said that Stoics are like Buddhists with an attitude.
Okay, I gotta be honest. When I first heard that, I laughed out loud.
Oh.
But it's true.
It is.
They take action. They understand that real growth, it often starts right outside of our comfort zone. So we've got acceptance, awareness, action, and anti-fragility. These 4 A's. But it's not like they're separate steps, are they?
No, not at all.
It's more like they all work together, right?
Yeah, they're all connected. They all influence and reinforce each other. They work together to create this amazing set of tools, a toolkit for life.
Yes, exactly. It's really incredible how these principles all work together.
Yeah, it's like each one of those A's is a tool in this incredible toolkit that you can use to approach life's challenges.
That's a good way to put it. But, okay, I've got to ask. With all this talk about accepting what we can't control,
Yeah.
does that mean Stoics just, like, sit back and let life happen to them?
Oh, I get where you're going with that. That's a really important question because it gets to the core of how these principles work together.
Yeah, is there a line between acceptance and, actually going after what you want?
There is, and it's not about being passive at all. Remember, Stoic acceptance is about recognizing what is and isn't in your control.
Right, okay.
And the beautiful thing is, what is in your control? Your actions, the choices that you make, how you respond to those curveballs life throws at you.
So it's not about resigning yourself to fate. It's about choosing how you react to it.
You got it. So focus your energy on what you can influence, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, and that's where Stoic action comes in. You've accepted what you can't control. You're cultivating awareness of your own judgments. Now you can act with purpose, with clarity.
Wow. So it's like acceptance and awareness. They're laying the groundwork for effective action.
Couldn't have said it better myself. They create this solid foundation for making choices aligned with your values and your goals. It's not about being swept away by circumstances outside of your control. It's about navigating them with a clear mind and a real sense of agency.
Okay, this is all starting to click now. But what about anti-fragility? Where does that fit in with this whole acceptance, awareness, action cycle?
That's where it gets really exciting. Anti-fragility is like the turbo boost for this whole system. You're not just surviving challenges, but you're actually using them as fuel to grow and evolve.
Okay, you had me at turbo boost. Tell me more.
All right, so think about it. Challenges, they're unavoidable, right? Like life is going to throw us curveballs no matter what we do. But with this Stoic idea of anti-fragility, you don't just weather the storm, you use that energy, that experience to become stronger and more resilient as a result. It's like embracing discomfort as an opportunity.
So instead of just accepting what you can't control, you're actually looking for ways to use those experiences to grow.
Yes, and guess what? This circles right back to our conversation about Stoic awareness. Remember how we were talking about how our thoughts aren't always reality?
Right.
Anti-Fragility takes that idea a step further. It encourages us to use Stoic action to actually challenge and reshape those thought patterns, those limitations that we put on ourselves.
So instead of just accepting our limitations, we actually have the power to push past them, to change how we think and respond.
Now you're getting it. It's realizing that our potential for growth, it's often way bigger than we think it is. And it's often those challenging experiences, those moments of discomfort that can unlock that potential for us and allow us to become even stronger.
This is honestly blowing my mind. It's like Stoicism isn't about enduring life. It's about embracing it, challenges and all, and then using those experiences to grow and become the best version of yourself.
That's the beauty of this philosophy. It's not about trying to reach some blissful state where you don't feel anything. It's about engaging with life fully, with all of its messiness and complexity, and finding strength and growth through that entire process. It's about being present. It's about being real.
I'm feeling really inspired after that conversation.
Yeah.
It's like Stoicism isn't just about getting through life. It's about really embracing every part of it.
Yes.
And using every experience, even the hard ones, to become the best, strongest version of yourself.
And that's what I love about it. It's not about seeking out some kind of blissful state where you don't feel anything. It's about engaging with life fully, with all its complexities, with all its ups and downs, and finding strength and growth through that whole process. It's about being present, being real.
And I think that's what makes these forays so powerful. Acceptance, awareness, action, and anti-fragility. They give us this framework, this roadmap to actually use these Stoic principles.
100%.
It's not just some abstract idea, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
It's about changing how we see the world, changing how we react to it.
Yeah, it's like developing a whole new mindset that makes you more resilient, more mindful, more in control of how you respond to, well, anything really, whether it's something life throws your way or something another person says that throws you off. It's about taking back that control.
So for anyone who's listening, who's new to Stoicism, maybe they've heard the word but never really knew what it was all about, or maybe they felt a little intimidated by it, what would you say to encourage them to give these forays a try?
I always say start small. You don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight or become some kind of Stoic sage. Just pick one of these A's, just one, and see if you can focus on it today, even in a small way. Maybe you're facing a challenging situation. See if you can practice acceptance. Or maybe you're feeling stressed. Pay attention to your thoughts, your judgments. That's awareness and action. Even taking small steps, it can make a big difference.
I love that progress over perfection. You don't have to be perfect at this to get something out of it. Just start incorporating these forays one at a time and see how it shifts your perspective.
Absolutely. And here's something to think about as you're going about your day-to-day. We've talked about how our thoughts, they're not always reality, right? So as you move through your day, pay attention to those moments where you feel yourself getting really stuck in your head. Where are you limiting yourself? What would it look like to bring in a little Stoic action to challenge those thoughts, those beliefs? Could you choose to see things differently?
That is a really powerful question. And on that note, we're going to leave you to ponder that one today. Remember, the real magic of Stoicism, it's not just in understanding these principles, but in actually using them and making them a part of your life. So go out there, embrace those forays: acceptance, awareness, action, and anti-fragility, and see what incredible transformations unfold.
I stay composed in the face of adversity. I don't expose, I got a still resolve. I never retreat, I embrace the struggle. I won't accept defeat. I keep my head high, never show despair. Step up, step up. I stay focused on my goals, on my grind, I'm aware. Step up, step up. I persevere through the pain and the strife. Step up, cause I'm a man of strength. I live this Stoic life. I'm unbreakable, unshakable. Yeah. Through the storms, I'm unbreakable, unshakable. I keep my mind steady, my heart cold and steel. I'm unbreakable, unshakable. I know it's wrong. In the forge of life, I'm the iron mode, Stoic mindset, and my veins is gold. I'll face the challenges, never lose sight. Stoic manhood, in a Stoic fight. Head high, like a pillar of strength in a path of honor. I go to great lengths, pain and strife. I turn it to fuel in the Stoic arena where virtue's rule. Step up, step up, step up, step up, step up, and step up. In the whispers of the wind, Stoic echoes ring. I'm the architect of my fate, I build my own wings. I stand tall, unyielding like a stone. Stoic principles in every verse I've known. Holes in my focus in the grind, I'm aware. In the face of challenge, I declare. Through pain and strife, I navigate. A stoic man in the world I cultivate. I wear my scars like badges of pride. Yeah. In the stoic rhythm, I let the beat guide. Never showing despair, never taking a dive. In the stoic anthem, I thrive. I'm unbreakable, unshakable. Through the storms, I'm unbreakable, unshakable. I keep my mind steady, my heart cold as steel. I'm unbreakable, unshakable. I know what
to make. So it's going to be a dog fight, but I'm telling you from personal experience, you don't have to start with anything. I'm a living example. You don't have to have anything to get started. Not even a daddy. No, I'm being real with you. Not a bank account. Not a name. Not a camera. We didn't have a camera when we first started. Not even business cards. We still don't have business cards. People say, how are you so successful without business cards? I don't know. We just say, here, take our number down. If you're serious, just here. Here's my number. Call me. So number one, you need to be very intentional and deliberate. I'm going to give you 3, 4 things. I'm letting you go. The first one is you need to be very intentional and deliberate. And what I mean by very intentional and deliberate is, please, you have to hear this. I believe in rugby that both teams are professionals. Correct? Listen to me. Both teams are professional. Both guys have, started young and are all physically able to play the game. But what happens is you have one team that's good in spurts. You have another team that's dominant. Come on, hear what I'm telling you. When I say I need you to be intentional and deliberate, hear me, I want to paint the picture. You have one team that has the ability to score. They have the ability to do well. They have the ability to score on the opponent. What their challenge is that they can't do it, they can't sustain it. The teams that are dominant, all black, dominant, because they can do it from beginning to end. Right? Listen to me. And they can do it team after team after team. Right? They can do it over and over and over. They dominate because they put pressure on you from the time you start to the very end. Even when they're up, they continue to dominate. And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday...
Live like there's no tomorrow and do what you love. The money will flow. Pain only leaves you when it teaches you something.
I would rather belong to a poor nation that was free than to a rich nation that had ceased to be in love with liberty. Woodrow Wilson.
Learn to trust your first instinct on decisions. Never doubt yourself.
To live in the present moment is a miracle. The miracle is not to walk on water. The miracle is to walk on the green earth in the present moment, to appreciate the peace and beauty that are available now. Thich Nhat Hanh.
Spend not the remnant of thy days in thoughts and fancies concerning other men, when it is not in relation to some common good, when by it thou art hindered from some other better work. That is, spend not thy time in thinking what such a man doth, and to what end, what he saith, and what he thinks, and what he is about, and such other things or curiosities, which make a man to rove and wander from the care and observation of that part of himself which is rational and overruling. See therefore in the whole series and connection of thy thoughts, that thou be careful to prevent whatsoever is idle and impertinent, but especially whatsoever is curious and malicious. And thou must use thyself to think only of such things, of which if a man upon a sudden should ask thee, what it is that thou art now thinking, thou mayest answer this and that freely and boldly, that so by thy thoughts it may presently appear that in all thee is sincere and peaceable, as becometh one that is made for society, and regards not pleasures, nor gives way to any voluptuous imaginations at all, free from all contentiousness, envy, and suspicion, and from whatsoever else thou wouldest blush to confess thy thoughts were set upon. He that is such, is he surely that doth not put off to lay hold on that which is best indeed, a very priest and minister of the gods, well acquainted and in good correspondence with him, especially that is seated and placed within himself, as in a temple and sacrary, to whom also he keeps and preserves himself unspotted by pleasure, undaunted by pain, free from any manner of wrong, or contumely, by himself offered unto himself, not capable of any evil from others, a wrestler of the best sort, and for the highest prize, that he may not be cast down by any passion or affection of his own, deeply dyed and drenched in righteousness, embracing and accepting with his whole heart whatsoever either happeneth or is allotted unto him. One who not often, nor without some great necessity tending to some public good, mindeth what any other either speaks or doth or purposeth, for those things only that are in his own power, or that are truly his own, are the objects of his employments, and his thoughts are ever taken up with those things, which of the whole universe are by the fates or providence destinated and appropriated unto himself, those things that are his own, and in his own power he himself takes order, for that they be good. And as for those that happen unto him, he believes them to be so. For that lot and portion which is assigned to everyone, as it is unavoidable and necessary, so is it always profitable. He remembers besides that whatsoever partakes of reason is akin unto him, and that to care for all men generally is agreeing to the nature of a man. But as for honor and praise, that they ought not generally to be admitted and accepted of from all, but from such only, who live according to nature. As for them that do not, what manner of men they be at home or abroad, day or night, how condition themselves with what manner of conditions, or with men of what conditions they moil and pass away the time together, he knoweth and remembers right well. He therefore regards not such praise and approbation as proceeding from them who cannot like and approve themselves.
Making up stuff. I was homeless, like in abandoned buildings homeless, eating out of trash cans homeless. Bob took me off the streets, brought me to church. I gave my life to Christ. That pastor helped me to get my GED. Then they sent me to college. Took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree because I played in school. I was in college, couldn't hardly read or write. But Bob should be here right now. But Bob is not here because me and Bob at 20, we started making different decisions. So here's what I want to tell you. I don't care what you say you want to be, what you want to do. And here's the crazy part about y'all age. Man, I'm so proud of y'all, like y'all the 1%ers. But the crazy part about it is, just because you got here don't mean your 30s gonna look like this. And your 40s gonna look like this. And your 50s. I mean, I wish if you played in the NFL, I wish that whatever your best day was, your best year was, you could just like capture that and that'd be the rest of your life. But unfortunately, a lot of dudes made a lot of money who broke. Now, I'm gonna just say MC Hammer, because that's my dude. $30 million wasted in. How you lose 30 mil in 1 year? Easy. You got the same mentality, like you hanging out with your homies and you trying to do right by your homies, but your homies eating up stuff, doing stuff, and now you broke and now you can't. Here's the crazy part about it. Most of the people who lost 30 million in 1 year, you don't get another year to make another 30 mil. Like, bro, wouldn't it be sweet if you had 30 and you wasted it and then you get a second shot and you get another 30? But for most people, that won't happen. So I'm not here to tell you anything but this. What do you want your life to look like? And many of you probably never even thought about it, but the cool thing about it, you got a phenomenal start, right? So I'm gonna walk through these slides real quick. I'm geek, right? I'm geek, why? Because I speak for a living. I'm geek, y'all, I speak for a living. So what does that mean? This don't get old. I got something that I could, if I die at 70, I can continue to do this. At 80, I can continue to do this. The problem with football, you can't do this at 50.
Have faith in what will be. Learn to miss someone without wanting them back.
Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Seneca.
Don't get married because you think it's something you have to do. You don't have as much time as you think. Accept criticism, but never accept disrespect.